Let's see if you know these native phrases. English learners and native English speakers use different vocabulary because they learn different vocabulary. In classrooms, English learners are usually learning more formal textbook English, but native speakers are learning the casual conversational speech that you really find in movies and TV shows. So let's take a look at some things that learners say and compare these to what natives actually say in conversations. The first one is, I agree. Now, this is perfectly fine to use in a conversation, but if you want to sound much more natural and expressive, you can say that again. You can say that again. So we're agreeing with someone, but we're saying we agree so much that we want that person to actually repeat themselves. So as an example, I might be in a room with a friend of mine and he says, wow, it's really hot in here. I could say, yes, I agree. Or he says, wow, it's really hot in here. I say, you could say that again. You could say that again. Here are some other native examples.
This place was in the time of Jesus.
Brother, you can say that again, Dennis.
The RNA world hypothesis is extremely unlikely. Yeah, you can say that again.
She's a witch. A real witch, isn't she?
You can say that again.
Next, an English learner might say something like, I have one more to do. And this is something you would use in a situation where you're building something, making something, have a project where you're doing a few things. As an example, maybe you are making doors in your house. So you have to make 5 doors and you have already made 4 and you have 1 more left to make. But a very simple way that natives use, and we can use this in slightly different ways depending on the numbers, is 1 down, 1 to go. As an example, with the doors, maybe I have 4 down, 1 to go. So when you finish something, you have some kind of project or you're building many of the same thing. If I'm making shirts in my office, I might say 4 shirts down, 1 to go. So down meaning you finish that thing. So 1 down, 1 to go. So 1 down, 1 finished, and 1 left to do. Here are some more native examples.
Okay, 1 down, 1 to go.
But 1 dream down, 1 to go.
2 down, 1 to go.
1 down, a couple thousand to go.
Next, a non-native might say that's rare, unusual, weird, or surprising. But a more interesting native way of saying this is, that's something you don't see every day. That's something you don't see every day. Now, you'll hear this as that's something you don't see every day or there's something you don't see every day. Now, you will hear this used sarcastically by natives as well. So as an example, if my child usually doesn't clean up their room and one day they do clean it up, I might say, oh, well, that's something you don't see every day. So I'm being a little bit sarcastic. I'm actually happy that my child cleaned up their room. But again, it's something we say when it's rare or surprising. Here are some more native examples.
It goes without saying that this is something you don't see every day.
It's real interesting to see. It's something you don't see every day.
Even footage from his PhD Viva, which is something you don't see every day.
Well, there's something you don't see every day.
This next one is really interesting, and this is when you are talking about something that you are known for or that you are proud of, usually something that you make. And in the English way of describing this is my famous such and such, so whatever that is. So you'll hear this often used with food. So if I'm going to a party and I meet other people there and each person is bringing some special food that they make or they're known for, I can say, this is my famous potato salad, or this is my mom's famous bread something. So whatever that thing happens to be, you'll see a lot of examples. I'll share some with you now. But the point is, instead of saying something like, this is like a dish that my mother made when I was growing up. So something that's a little bit longer and more difficult to say, you can more easily express yourself if you just say, this is my famous something, or this is my mother's famous, or my friend's famous something. Let's look at a few examples.
We're right on schedule for my famous party trick.
And of course, my famous 1982 book, Negotiating the Curriculum.
It's my famous Egyptian-inspired table here.
Next, you could say help, like if you were going to help someone. But a more native and conversational way to say this, especially if you're talking about a group of people, is to pitch in. Now, this is a phrasal verb that just means to help, but we're just saying it in a more expressive and natural way. So if I'm working with a group of people, maybe we are all cleaning up the neighborhood, some people come over and I say, hey, can you pitch in for a little bit? Pitch in can also be used for talking about money. So if you have a group of people who want to buy a birthday gift for someone, we all pitched in to buy this for you. So each one of us put in a little bit of money to purchase something, to pitch in. Here are some examples.
We pitch in and we help out.
America only succeeds when we all pitch in and pull together.
People were very willing to pitch in and help each other out. They were very proud of what they were about to establish.
Next, here's a very common situation. A non-native might say something like, now I will try something difficult. And an example might be you are learning a magic trick or some other difficult thing like how to play basketball. Someone is teaching you how to do this, and then it's your turn to try it. Now, people usually say something like, okay, I'm going to try this now, or wish me luck, or something like that, because we usually know we're not going to do it well. So as a way of protecting yourself and just making it seem that you're not so embarrassed to make a mistake as you're doing something, you might say instead, this is what an English speaker would say, here goes nothing. Here goes nothing. Here goes nothing. So this means I'm going to try something right now and I will probably fail, but it's kind of my way of protecting myself and again, saving myself from a little embarrassment. So I know I'm not going to do that thing very well, but I'm going to try it anyway. Here goes nothing. Here goes nothing. Let's look at some more examples.
All right, here goes nothing.
So, here goes nothing.
All right, here goes nothing. Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right, here goes nothing. 3, 2, 1.
And the last one, this is a very simple thing, and you will hear the word hi from native speakers, but often in much more casual situations and even some professional situations, people will greet each other with hey. So a non-native speaker is usually using more something like hi or hello, a little bit more formal English, but very casually, even in professional situations, you'll hear natives saying hey, hey, hey. Here are a few great examples.
Hey, Steven.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Hey, Marie. I'm at the stage of my life and career where networking is super important.
Hey, Larry! Hey, Larry! Hey, Larry!
Well, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I just wanted to share a few of these, and if you like, I can make some more, so do let me know. Post a comment down below this video and let me know which one of these you didn't know and which of these you enjoyed the most. If you didn't know some of these, it's because most English lessons don't teach spoken English. They don't teach the way natives really speak, and this is why many learners often struggle to understand the casual vocabulary and the fast speech and accents of natives in movies, TV shows, and conversations. So if you want to learn real spoken English and become a fluent speaker, click on the link in the upper right of this video, or on the link in the description below this video to get my complete fluency training program. It will teach you over 2,000 useful words, phrases, phrasal verbs, slang, idioms, proverbs, expressions, and much more, and help you learn them step by step so you learn to use them fluently and confidently in your conversations. So click on the link in the description or on the link in the top right of this video if you'd like to learn more. To continue learning, just do these 3 simple things right now. 1. Click on this link to subscribe to my YouTube channel for over 500 free videos. 2. Click on this link to download my #1 ebook guide to fast fluency free. And 3. Click here to watch the most popular video on English fluency here on YouTube.